Hey, what's up? Good morning. Another episode of Bringing the Business, man. You know what? We're going to start off the show a little differently this morning. We got a special guest in the house, man. So before we get into our regular sports topics or whatever topics we talk about, you know what I'm saying, through the show, we want to bring a guest in to kind of, first of all, introduce her to our audience and also just kind of let her give you a background of what she got going on and where you could check her out at and everything like that. So we got Miss Tatichristina in the house. What's going on?
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the Bringing the Business platform.
Thank you.
So man, let us know where you know what you got going on. Why you on the show today? What's to Miss Tati? What's going on?
Well, first of all, we got a song dropping tonight called Started from the Bottom, written by me, edited. The video was edited by me, shot by my little sister, and produced by Stasia Beats. I'm an artist. I make R&B, hip hop. I play the guitar. I got, of course, a podcast show called the Tatichristina Show. And I'm a teacher, as you could see. So a lot of things going on. Oh, and I'm in school too. So I edit my videos. I'm in Illinois Media School, learning how to just do all of everything because I feel like nobody really see my vision the way I see it. So I'm like, let me just do everything myself. One man band.
So you say you make music. What kind of music you make? What do you sing? You rap? You do country music? What you do?
Right now, right now it's just R&B and hip hop. I'm trying to like coast my way into some gospel, but right now that's what I'm doing.
Now, okay, I don't mean to be biased. I don't mean to be a jerk. I don't mean to be nothing. When you say hip hop, man, nowadays these women, when I hear hip hop women, so what is you the raunchy, booty shaking, sexy red and them type of music? What? Because I'm gonna just be honest. If it's that type, I ain't going to listen to it. I'm just gonna keep it a dollar.
Sexy red. I'm not nobody that you ever seen before. And first of all, I have a daughter, so I'm definitely not rapping about no crazy stuff. I gotta, make a path for her. Two, I used to say I'm Queen Latifah and all of them, that type of style, but I honestly feel like I'm nothing like nobody that ever stepped foot into this industry. So if you was to ever tap in, you would see why I say what I say.
Okay. Who's some of your influences?
I would say Queen Latifah, MC Light, Salt Pepper. Anybody new?
Hey, hold on. What do you like? 12? And you talking about Queen Latifah? You talking about Queen Latifah, MC Light, and all this? Like you like 12? Like how do you know? Who introduced you to them type of?
I'm with an old soul. Okay, I have older parents, so they put me on to all that type of music. They ain't never let me listen to all that raunchy stuff. Even back then, like no shade to Lil' Kim now, but my mom ain't never put me on to no Lil' Kim. It was always some real rap, and that my dad real rap. I'm a real rapper, so that's what I was put on to.
Okay. So when we turn on your music, that's what we expecting to hear.
For sure.
Are we gonna hear some bars?
You gonna hear bar after bar. The song, the chorus gonna be a bar. The verse is gonna be a bar. The bridge gonna be a bar. The song is bars. I should have called myself bars, but that's all I did.
Okay. So we're gonna hear some bars with some substance in your music.
For sure, you're gonna hear that. So tonight, if you follow me on Instagram, Tati, that's IT 3 A's TI, Tatichristina everywhere else, you're gonna hear nothing but bars.
Okay. Nick?
Yeah, I just want to say shout out to the eyelashes, bro. Shout out to the lashes, man. The lash game on fleek for sure. Man. I ain't even tripping, man.
I appreciate you.
And like Nick, you know what I'm saying? My partner up there, he was I ain't gonna say was because I want him to get back into it, but he was he was dope with that pen as well. You know what I'm saying? Writing R&B music and stuff like that. So, that's something that I like to see him get back into. So him and myself, excuse me, got a good ear for music, I like to say. So we definitely gonna check it out. We definitely gonna give you our honest opinion because that's what you want, right?
For
We're
sure.
gonna give you our honest opinion on, you know what I'm saying, on the music. And then I know this was a kind of like a short session right here, but we want you back because we want to after we listen to the music, dive into your music, critique your music. We want you back on the show so we can discuss what we think about what we heard.
I'm with it.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
heard a snippet of one song. That's when I can't think of the name, but I just listened to it like not too long ago. When you had the personal last Cubs jersey on.
Oh yeah, Prodigy. That was it
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Bar.
Yeah, that was nice though. From
Thank
what I
you.
heard, that was nice. So yeah, I do want to kind of listen to a little bit more what you got though. But from what I heard though, I like it though.
Thank you. You want more to
Yeah,
come though.
Okay. So
absolutely.
go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
Oh, so I know you say you got some. I know you say you got some stuff dropping today. So again, let us know what's dropping today. Let us know where we can go find your other music and your other project, whatever you got out there for the listeners to listen to or to check out. Now's the time to go ahead and let us know what you got out there and where do we go to see it at or hear it at.
Sure. So tonight, 5 p.m. dropping SFB. Started from the bottom. And Tatichristina everywhere. Wherever you look, Tatichristina. Tatichristina. And you'll find nothing but stuff.
Okay, and I know before you go, I know you got a freestyle Friday. Is that every Friday you've been dropping stuff like that, so we can go and we can go listen to some bars on Friday or what?
Yeah, that's free. So Freestyle Friday, I'm actually on pause right now for Freestyle Friday because I'm actually changing everything around that I used to do. Like I ain't trying to curse no more. I ain't trying to drink, smoke, none of that. So Freestyle Friday on a pause until I can change everything. I'll switch it out and start. But did want to see some, it is the Christian show on YouTube where you can see I got like 23 episodes up. So yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, we wanna thank you for stopping through, hollering at the Bringing the Business crew. Um, this is a collaboration that that we want to do again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
In,
'cause
in
I want to
the
talk about your. I'm sorry, B. I want to talk about your evolution and how you're trying to change everything as far as like the no cursing, smoking, drinking. I want to see like what made you want to do that, and then I'm just kind of curious to see the evolution of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I applaud it, but I want to see like where it started from and then how it ended up.
I can give you a little brief list. We could do the evolution when I come back, but I'm just on this spiritual journey where I got sick of myself. I was doing these worldly things, and I just noticed like nothing good was coming. Like, let me try something different. Let me try God. Let me see what He has for me. So that's where all this changed. Lately, I have definitely seen a great impact. I'm doing in the next episode. I should be able to tell you.
Okay,
okay.
that's hot.
All right. Well, we waiting on you to return to us. We're gonna check your music out. Everybody go check her out, and we'll post it up in the video so that in this video so they'll be able to actually see where to go check you out. So again, want to thank you for stopping through. Say what's up and hollering at us, and we looking forward to seeing you in the near future.
For sure.
So,
Thanks.
All
make
right.
sure you bring them lashes back too.
They might be a different stuff.
All right.
Thank
Peace.
All right.
Yeah, what's going on, Nick?
What's up, man?
All right.
Hey, you
All
know
right.
what's funny, man? What's funny, man? How God works, man. It's real funny how He works. We was talking this morning, and we was talking about. I think you had said something to me about just like a topic or whatever. We
Mhm.
could figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out. So, you know what I mean? And it's funny how God worked because in my head, I'm thinking like, I have no clue, you know what I'm saying, of what to talk about. And then for that to just get put in our lap like that. And then on top of that, not just that got put in our lap, which is great to have, an up and coming Chicago artist, to come in our lap like that. But then on top of that, for that to come in our lap and then to also be talking about not just rap, but how people are coming to God, you know what I'm saying, and understanding that you know, this world stuff is this world stuff. The only way to make it through is through God. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just crazy how God works. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
was thinking to myself when we was thinking about a topic, I was thinking about talking about like, you know, mental health. I was thinking about talking about how you can have so many things in your life. You can have all the money, you can have all the cars and the houses and stuff like that, but none of those things mean anything because obviously
Yeah.
you can see like the people that had the most money be the ones who screwed up.
Yes, sir.
You know
Yes,
what I
sir.
mean? So it's just funny how God worked, man. God worked. You know, what they say. They always say God worked in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
It's
And, and,
crazy,
and,
man.
and just to hear that it's still artists out here that thrive to make positive music or thrive to be an influence on other people out here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because you got a lot of people now that come into the music business, they just follow the trends that's already set. And it's hard to like go into your own lane, so to speak. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because that's not always accepted. You know, if you're a female and you're a nice looking female, all you got to do is come out with some booty shaking and uh you know what I'm saying, and throw the money to me, and you know all that type of stuff, and you are damn near guaranteed to make it. But
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
a little harder when you come out with some substance and with some skill and with some, you know what I'm saying, some with a positive message. You know, sometimes that's not as accepted as the garbage is, man.
Hey, so shout out to, you know, since we are talking about like this hip hop thing, we talk about music and we talking about like this the cultural shift in hip hop. Shout out to Christian artist D1. I don't know if
Who was that?
you got
Say
to
that
check him
again.
out.
Say the name.
D1
Okay.
DEE1. You got to check him out. He on Instagram. He you know, I wouldn't even say like he a gospel artist. I just say like he does hip hop music, but I mean, obviously he believes in God and he believes in, you know, Jesus Christ and all that stuff, and he's promoting just more social acceptable music. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not talking about killing each other and drugs and, you know, sexual exploitive music. And he's been reaching the masses for a lot of people now. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of big artists have came out in support for him. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of backlash at first. But yeah, I mean, shout out to D1, man, for
For
sure.
sure.
You know,
For sure. For
yeah.
sure. You gonna make me go check it out and
You know
see.
what?
You know,
When we get off, I'll send you a clip of because he on Instagram, so I'll send you
okay.
a clip of what he do. He also a Harvard professor.
Okay. That's dope. That's
You know
dope.
what I'm saying? So yeah,
That's
shout out to
dope.
that. I mean, it just made me, you know, made me think about it because of, you know, what she said. You know what I'm saying? Like some, you know what's crazy, man? Sometimes, and I think we should do this more. And what I'm about to say is this: sometimes we just need to get on here and talk.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I
Because
mean?
and not to cut you off with that, because that's 100% true. That's 100% um, a great idea. Because just think about both of our walks of life. You know what I'm saying? Like our professions. Think about our
Mm-hmm.
professions. You know what I'm saying? With you being in law enforcement and me being in education, we see a lot
A
that
whole lot.
needs to be addressed. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, in our community, from um, you know parenting to you know what I'm saying, different things with our children. And when I say our children, I mean the community. You know what I'm saying, the
Yeah.
children of the community, mental health, just everything that we see in the Black community. A lot of that stuff need to be addressed and talked about, and even on the lines of just picking each other brains on what you think about this, or what you know, man, this happened today. I saw this today. What you think about that? Let me give you a topic real quick.
Go ahead.
You know this particular week was a report card pickup. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying, for CPS, right?
Okay.
So at my in my situation, you had some parents come. A lot of parents don't even come to get the
Mm-hmm.
report card and stuff like that, right? So I was talking to my wife this morning, and she's an educator as well, and she talked about how, and she's in high school, so she talked about how parents came up to get their kids' report cards. And when they got there, they were told, like, some parents, if your child has some disciplinary issues, or like some issues where they were in jeopardy of not graduating or not passing on to the next grade, you had to go talk to the dean or the principal, or somebody in that line. And she spoke of one parent in particular. It was many others, but one that just kind of stood out to me, man. And they told the parent that well, your child is not going to pass to the next grade. And the parent go, oh, what, why not, what you mean? Ooh, man, it's been 200 days of school, not even 200 days of school yet, and your child has been absent 81 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? So you mean to tell me they can't? Ma'am, your child, you don't come to school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's been absent 80 some days, bro. Like, out of 100 some days, he's been absent 80 something. How do you, like, what in your head tells you that this child should pass on to the next grade?
I'm not even like, I want to say I'm surprised by it, but I'm not. It's like they want their kid to have the world without their kid doing anything to deserve it or to earn it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, where's the accountability at? You know what I'm saying? So you don't even have accountability as a parent for why your kid ain't coming to school. You know what I'm saying? But you want to fuss with us about why he ain't graduating or why he don't go to the next level. Come on, man. Where's the accountability? That just goes to show that. I mean, I hate to say this about the kid, but it's gonna be a rough road for this kid.
And then because I asked, because one thing that I try to process or think about, like, when people do dumb or stupid shit, and sometimes I just want to have a conversation with them, where it's like, you just want to hear their logic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to hear where you are logically with this particular issue that we're addressing. And so when I asked her that, I say, well, did anybody just ask her, like, ma'am, how do you expect us to pass him if he, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just have a logical, right? How is that logical to you that he should still pass to the next grade? And she said that, said some of the parent, well, he going through this or she going through it. Ma'am, you haven't addressed none of that with us. You remember back in the day, like, if you, I'm gonna say back in the day because I'm pretty sure it still happens today. If you missed school or whatever, your parents called and got your homework or got your school.
Sure.
Like, ma'am, you haven't done that. Like, you haven't come up here to get your child's schoolwork or homework. You haven't called up here and said what this child is going through or whatever. Man, can y'all work with me? You ain't did none of this. You know this kid ain't coming to school. And then you come pick this report card up and you wonder why it's flagged with all F's and you wonder why they're not graduating. How does that even make sense, bro?
Right. I mean, the thing is, and this probably wouldn't even get across to him. It's just like you just say to this person. So if you have to be at work for 2 weeks and you only showed up for 3 days, do you expect to get paid for the full 2 weeks? Like, I mean, so are you gonna get mad that your check only got 3 days on it? You know what I'm saying? You ain't been there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, logically, you could probably say that to them, and they would still say something, because in their head they gonna always have an excuse for stupidity. You know what I'm saying? That's why I try to tell people, don't. Well, what's the saying, or not even the saying, but you trying to figure out somebody who's illogical is making you stupid.
Right.
You'll never understand. You'll never understand their logic because it's not logical.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy to me, B. You know, but I mean, and we talked about the whole, education thing before, and it's just like, it's sad, man, because if that's the product that you get over there, as far as parenting,
Mm-hmm.
those kids don't stand a chance.
Correct. Because even one thing that I figured out, and I learned this like trying to help certain kids in the neighborhood. So just say I pick you up from a raggedy household, right? A garbage household, whatever. And I show you some things and help you out, do this, that, and other. But I gotta drop you back off into that same situation. That's hard for that kid, bro. You know what I'm saying? When that home front is so important, bro, obviously. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if the home front is garbage, it's hard for them to grow and to do, just from the outside. Like they gotta have the foundation in the crib.
So let me say something to you about that. I'm not going dispute what you're saying, but I'll give you an example. And maybe you didn't know this, you know what I'm saying, even though we've been knowing each other for years, or, shit, forever. You know what I'm saying? But I'll give you an example. I grew up pretty much my whole life in apartments.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Didn't know nothing about living in a household, didn't living in a house or, anything like that. One of my first experiences of being in a house was your house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Seeing, your mom, my godmom, pops in that setting, you know what I'm saying? It instilled something in me, even though I had to go back to my apartment. I had to go back to my mom who was doing drugs. I had to go back to my uncles who was doing drugs. I didn't have, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had my grandma, which helped along the process. But I say all that to say this. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes in some of these kids, which would happen with me, when you see better, you want better.
Correct. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what your household, when I was growing up and when we were growing up, that's what did it for me. You know what I'm saying? Being in that environment. I remember the whole summer I spent over there one summer. Being in that environment, you know what I'm saying, where your mom was like, hey, y'all got to wash clothes. Y'all got to clean up. Y'all got to do. It wasn't like, I didn't get treated no different than anybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So being in that environment and seeing that, even though I had to go back to where I was, you know what I'm saying, it meant something to me. And it made me see a life that I wanted opposed to the life that I had.
Let me give you and I 100% agree and understand. But let me give you a slight difference that you had as well. Even though, like you say, you had to go back to, some family members that had addictions or whatever the case. Your grandmother was a solid rock, even in the midst of chaos or what could be looked at as some chaos or whatever. I have some students, and I'm just saying, and I'm not saying this didn't go on back then as well, but to see it today. But like for instance, I got some students whose parents have passed or parents moved on, and they have to be taken care of by grandmother. And I've heard the horror stories of grandma like, I didn't ask for this. You know what I'm saying? Telling the kids that, like, I didn't ask for y'all ass, and you know what I'm saying? I didn't want y'all, and that, this, that, and other. So even though you had issues, with your parents or whoever, whatever, grandma accepted it and took care of it and provided you with as much of a solid home as she could. And not just you.
Absolutely.
Not just you. She, any of the grandkids that had whatever issues or whatever like that, it's like, come on. I'm gonna make sure y'all get as close to a solid home situation as you can. And you know what I'm saying? So some of the kids, whereas they have a parent situation like you, the grandparent situation is fucked up as well. You know what I'm saying? And that, or the grandparent is not in there, and just the home, like ain't no positivity in this house. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you name some chaos and things that's going on in there, it was also some positive shit. Grandma made sure you was in church every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Grandma made sure you went to school. You know what I'm saying? Grandma made sure you worked and you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. So it was, you had a solid rock in there though. You know what I'm saying? That did the best she can with showing you, you know what I'm saying, the great things of life that you needed to learn. You know what I'm saying? Some kids don't even have, some kids it's just all the way fucked up. Some kids it's just all bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? So and
I mean, but go ahead.
hold on, let me just say this real quick. And like, I know this for fact. What I'm saying, I know this for fact because you just mentioned the household that I was coming from. But when I went to your household, it wasn't like I'm just going to a free for all, you know what I'm saying? Or just like a, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just chaos because my mom and them wouldn't have let me go over there if it was like that. They understood that I'm gonna be well taken care of when I come over here and spend the night. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm, you know, it's gonna be, we gonna eat, we gonna, you know, it's rules and regulations over here as well, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So shit, it wasn't.
But when you started to come over, we were older.
Yeah,
we was a little bit older, and that's when I was still with my grandma. So so when you came over, it was a little bit more structure then, you know what I'm saying? But not to put everything out there, but within the structure was chaos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I mean, not knocking nothing because I mean I love my grandma, I love everything she did for me, and I tell her to this day, you know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I didn't appreciate it as much as I appreciate it now as an older man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things. And what I was about to say, before you had kept talking was, just in certain circumstances, like as a kid, you got to see better to want better.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Now, in the midst of like, I know for me, even though I had things going on around me, as far as like drug abuse, alcohol abuse, so all type of things going on around me, I've always looked at those things as I don't want to be like that. I see the road that would take me, where that would take me. I got to go somewhere else.
I remember I remember when like I got into teenage years and I started smoking and drinking and all that. I remember you wouldn't touch none of that shit.
Nah, bro.
Like when we started as teenage boys, the regular teenagers get out there and drinking and smoking and all. I remember like you got good and grown then before you touched, you know what I'm saying, alcohol or anything like that. I remember like we was coming up, you was like, nah, I'm staying away from that shit. Like you ain't want no parts of that.
Because when you grow up in it, you know what I'm saying, it's like you walking through a storm of fire and you see everybody else get burnt, but then you walk through there thinking that you ain't gonna get burnt. Like, I mean, it's inevitable, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I've seen everybody, in my family went through those similar situations and it all happened to them. So what would make me different? Because you know what I'm saying, and that's like the facade that people are like, man, I see them, I ain't gonna do it like them. You're gonna get strung out just like them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why.
Every kid, but like, where did you get that from? Because every kid ain't mature enough to see it to put that together. You know what I'm saying? Because some kids is like, okay, all I see is drugs and alcohol, so I'm gonna go to drugs because I think this is what you're supposed to do. Like, where do you think that what do you think you got the maturity level or whatever from to be like, no, you know what? Hold on. If I do it, I'm gonna end up like them. Because every kid don't have that at the age that you was able to see that.
You know what did it for me, and it's sad to say this, because I mean, it's gonna sound real bad. Where I get it from is that people in church, because of people talking too much and people all in your business, they knew like what my family was going through. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like everybody was looking at me as he gonna be next.
Okay.
So in my head was, to be honest with you, I'm gonna prove them wrong.
Okay.
And that's where it came from. You know what I'm saying? It came from like, I know what you think I'm gonna be. I'm gonna prove you wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because everything, and I knew that's how they looked at me. So I knew it. And it's sad to say that because I mean, I'm not saying like we had bad people in the church, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, we all human.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we're in the church, you know what I'm saying, we all human. You know, if we supposed to be in the church because we constantly, you know, making mistakes. And, you know, we come there to get that spiritual guidance and, you know, be closer to God. But so no, it's no knock to anybody in there, but that's where it came from. And I remember the day that did you go on that Houston trip with us?
No, I didn't go to Houston. No,
Okay,
I didn't go. I didn't go to Houston.
so we all went on this Houston retreat, and I think I
Mm-hmm.
was like 16, 17 years old, something like that. And we went to like a little conference, and one of the people was asking me about something, and that was my response. My response was, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna make sure that I'm not going the path of what people expect me to go. You know what I'm saying? It was just something that I wanted, you know what I'm saying, that I knew, you know what I'm saying, that I wanted for my life. And I knew what I wanted, I knew what I didn't want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I say that's to be commended because, like I say, a lot of because that obviously that's why a lot of our young boys out here in the streets or whatever because they basically doing what they see at home. So when you do have that kid that say, you know what, I'm gonna be the opposite of what I see at home. That's to be commended and that's to be applauded. You know what I'm saying? Because every kid does not have the maturity level to do so. And I'm gonna take myself for example. You know, for dibbling and dabbling in the street. I like you say, I had a household. I had a, you know what I'm saying, 2-parent household. Had my grandparent, my biological father was in my life. You know what I'm saying? That's another 2-parent household with my biological father as well as my stepmother. You know what I'm saying? They living good over here. Like, so I had it. But I was just fascinated with some of the things that I saw in the streets. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So you would think that, man, you get this stuff. Why would you try this stuff? Or why would you go over here or, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, try these things? But it was because I didn't see that stuff in my household. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
it was like, it was intriguing to me. I could, you know, even though I didn't have that stuff in my household, I could still stand on my porch and look down the street and see
Yeah. Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And when I looked down the street and saw some of these things, it fascinated me. Or, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, it had me intrigued. So it had me wanting to know, like, what is that about? Or what's that, what's to that, or what's to this. But one thing that was different about me, uh, going back to what the Bible verse says about train up a child in the way that he should go, so even if he depart, he gonna come back. I had a solid foundation. So
Yeah.
even it, and so like with some of the guys that I hung with and ran with, they didn't have no limit to what they would and wouldn't do. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I had a
Mm-hmm.
limit. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I
Mm-hmm.
done some things, but it was a cutoff limit. Like, nah, I ain't going that far. Or,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Nah, I ain't. You know what I'm saying? And it was a lot. First of all, I had people to answer to, and I had people that I didn't want to let down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to let obviously my parents, I didn't want to let my grandparents down. You know what I'm saying? Grandparents down, my grandmothers, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to let them down. I didn't want to, like I say, you know, we grew up in the church. I didn't want to let there's some people in the church that looked at us a certain way that I didn't want to, you know, let them down or whatever. So, that played a part in it. Let me just tell you this real quick. When we was in college, right? I went to Parkland College down there in Champaign, right? So when we was
Mm-hmm.
down there in Parkland, you know what I'm saying, with everybody that I hung with and everything like that, you know, I had started hustling, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing, whatever. You know, we was getting into some of everything, man. You know what I'm saying? We was getting into some of everything. Out of everybody that was down there with us, like that hung with us or whatever, I was the only one that graduated with my associate at this particular junior college. And my
Mm-hmm.
guys, they talk about that to this day. They say, man, we'll be doing this and we'll be doing that. And you will leave talking about you got to go do your homework. Or before I left school, I go to the library and do my homework because I know when I get out here, we just going to be out here turning up and
Yeah.
kicking it. So I'm going to do my homework first. You know what I'm saying? Shit like
Mm-hmm.
that. And it came down to I had people to answer to back at home. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they was gonna want to know, like, hold on, what you down there doing? Or what you know what I'm saying? We want to see some grades. We want to see. So
Yeah.
that was one of the reasons I made sure that I did what I did because I knew I had people to answer to.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, like when we initially started talking about, with like the generation now, it's like who they got the answer to. You know what I'm saying? If your mama come to school knowing you missed 81 days of school, obviously you don't got to answer to her because
Correct.
she's trying to figure out how to get around it.
Right. Right.
So there's
So
no accountability.
and that's what she's teaching you, right?
But that's what she's teaching you. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what your mom is teaching you, which is like and it's hard, man. You know what I'm saying? This society has stripped us away from what I ain't gonna say this is well, yeah, I say the society has been set up to strip us away from how family is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So now it leaves with the mom all by herself trying to, you know what I'm saying, we just behind, bro. And that's a whole nother topic within itself, man. We could sit on this damn phone for 2-3 hours talking about this shit. Because it's a bigger issue. You know what I'm saying?
And you could break it down to like, you know what I'm saying? So obviously we're gonna do segments on that. Like you could break it down to the different issues. Like, it's a big umbrella as a whole, like issues in the community. But you can break it down to household, you know what I'm saying, morals and values. You can break it down to how we talk about sports and what they teach your kids and put them in there. We can break it down to education part of it. We can break it down to the influence of rap music and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. We can break it down to social media. So it's a lot that fits under that umbrella.
Single parent households.
Thank
So
you.
you can think about you can break it down to that. You could break it down to how it's more beneficial for a woman to be by herself financially, with government assistance than to be with a man that's going to help out in more ways than just financial within the household. It's so much to go on with it, man, that it's crazy.
Childhood or young adult pregnancy
Yeah.
and preventing it. You know what I'm saying? So you can go back to the family structure like the way that it was supposed to be. So like I say, it's different segments y'all gonna get from us when we discuss this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And
When we
go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say because I know I know you got to do your thing. I was gonna say one last thing to on my end is shout out to Tatichristina, man.
For
And the
sure.
reason why I say that is because she the reason why we talking about this.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? She the reason why we talk and let's not forget this one important thing when it comes to family, when it comes to society and everything. One thing that we can't leave out is there is no structure without God.
Most definitely. And
You know
and
what I'm saying?
and man, see now you finna open up a whole nother can of worms. One thing people don't understand, right, in our Black community, and again, this is a topic that I want to talk about thoroughly in the future. It was a point where we got everything from the church. You know what I'm saying? If you talk about, if you, I don't know fact of like from your grandmother, because I know your grandmother, 95, someone like that, 90, 95. She's from the
95.
South. She's from the South.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear my elders that's 80s and, what I'm saying, even my step pops who's 75 talk about when they went to school in the church house because that's where
Mm-hmm.
blacks, that's where the blacks had to go in these poor southern towns and stuff like that.
Right.
When like Martin Luther King, they did their speeches. Most of them was in the church house. Like the church was the foundation of the community, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? God was the foundation of the community. You look at these schools now, you can't pray in school. You can't mention God in school, whatever. Well, that's why you got the chaos that you got there. This is why you got it. When you take, anytime you take God out of something, this is what you're going to get, man. This is what you're going to get. Yeah. So, again, we're going to come back to this because we'll be talking about this forever, man. You know what I'm saying? Another dope episode, man. I know y'all used to coming on here and we drop the sports knowledge, man, but sometimes we going to deviate and go off track a little bit, man, and bring the business on what you really need to hear and what you really need to know, man. So, another great episode, man. Business.